What's up? What's up, YouTubies? What's up with Steveo today? What has he got going on? Always something, guys. Always something. Hey, listen. Stuff I do just keeps me out of trouble. I'll be in the titty bars if I'm not doing stuff like this. What I'm doing here. Yeah, I might as well just take you along. We'll go to a titty bar and stuff money in garter belts. Here lately, well, it's this morning I was stuffing Lowe's Home Improvement Center garter belt. Yeah, check this out. Little Stainmaster, huh? Stainmaster waterproof vinyl flooring. Here it is. Check it out. Stuff is heavy, guys. It's heavy. I got to looking at. I was looking actually too at ceramic tile, floor tile. Talk about heavy. Woo-hoo. That stuff's heavy, and I don't know if it's would be any better than this stuff here. I've got a little cantilevering action here. Actually, this stuff right here is 9 inches. Because we made these ends here for our frame rest. Here's your frame rest, you see. These babies are 9 inches. You've got 8 inches here. Now with that 8, you got plenty of room to shift your frames around and get them out, okay? Not any more than you would probably a 5-frame data high body. Yeah, these are 8 inches, these interior 1x stock. Yeah. Those are 2x4s in there, as you can see, glued together right there. You've seen me do that. There's some more ready to go into production right here. You can see our frame rest here. Yeah. You can burn these out, guys, by the piles full. Just if you buy these and do what I'm doing, buy 16 footers. Numbers work out a little better. And you've seen me build these before. I've been building them for years. I built 8-frame boxes. I built 12-frame box. 8-frame boxes, 10-frame boxes, and all the same way, exactly the same way. Yep. So. But I have downsized, and as you know, I've downsized to 5-frame boxes. Here's one here. We're fixing to put a screen on it. I thought I'd give you another review of a screen, doing up a screen bottom. Here's one here. I've got this platform. Just a simple, cheap, quick platform, just with scab lumber, okay? And you just put the bottom side looking up, you drop your platform in, just have it where it's flush. All this does, guys, is keep your T50 from falling in the hole and all that, and just keeps everything here flat, see, so you can staple. And so what you do is you just grab your screen. You don't pre-cut this stuff. Don't try to pre-cut any of this. Just grab your roll, unroll it. You get this stuff on Amazon. This eighth inch. It's getting up there in price, okay? It's starting to get crazy on the numbers, and so is everything else, thanks to Joe Biden and his his team. He's gotten this country so screwed up. We don't know whether to shiz it or wind our watch anymore, okay? So that's just, it's just the beauty of this platform here. You can just put your gun here and it doesn't try to fall in a box. And I'm shooting these in probably every 2.5 inches or something along here. Try to keep this, you got a little bit of jagged teeth here I'll show you what I do with that in a second. Pretty brutal. Those are gnarly as heck. They'll bite you like a beaver, you know. And what I'm shooting here is which I find to be sufficient. On this T50 gun, what I'm shooting is 1/4 inch. Quarter inch, baby. I think that's all you need. I've been shooting 1/4 inch for quite a few years and I don't seem to have issues with it. You can see how this platform helps you out, keeping the gun. See, especially with this T50 with such short staples, you gotta be 90 degrees to your project, otherwise you'll get an angle shot and that's no good. So before you even trim it out, go ahead and snug these up. Go over all these staples, make sure they're bottomed out. Then just grab your bullnose shears, tin snips, and I like to lay it up here on the side of the box and use the box as a guide. That's why now you've got a nice custom cut here. Don't try to cut this screen and put it on here. You'll be fighting it back and forth. No good. Just pull it over here off the side. Use your box as a guide. Done. You're all done. Now, you'll see right here on these edges some gnarly little beaver teeth sticking out. Them little suckers will make you bleed. They will make you bleed. So trim them up. Okay, that's done. Now, I've got these, we need to put a couple cleats on. You'll see here, I've got cleat here for the handles. Same material. This is all dunnage cut from these sides here. This is PT, 1/2 inch. That's the side of the box. And handles and bottom cleats. So you're just gonna put this bottom cleat up here, like so. Take your handy dandy little Harbor Freight brad nailer, and you're shooting into this 2-inch thickness stock that is where your end frame rests are. So then I've got that anchored. We don't need clamps and all that garbage. You only need 2 screws in here. And I'm shooting 1 1/4 inch deck screws for putting the box sides on, the 1/2 inch sides. We're shooting into this 2-inch stock, so I'm using 2-inch deck screws for that. You'll probably get away with just fine using all 1 1/4s, but I want a little overkill on the side railing. So now the beauty of the cleats is simple fact. You're loading this on a truck. Say that truck's got a steel bed on it that's 9,000 degrees in Florida, right? So when you're done, you just pull your platform out, your screen platform. Now you can see the interior of the box. You've got a nice frame rest here. Keep in mind you've got your entrances here when you're working these SD beefy beehives, those end bars can slap clear up here. So while you're working bees, the last thing you do before you drop a lid on them, make sure you scoot all the frames back. Just take your hive tool and go boop, 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 shove them back against the far wall back here. So you've got plenty of bee space here so they can crawl in and up and over and through. It doesn't matter if the back end here is uptight against this, don't matter. You can play and fudge with them numbers all you want to, and so you end up, you know, you can actually end up, if you cut this material just right, to where you can drop them in, the frames will be stuck here, and you'll have bee spacing on both ends. But I just find it so much faster, so much easier. Just go 3/4 depth down and 3/4 in, which is center of this lumber. So much freaking easier. It's just the KISS system for Steveo. That's all it is. So yeah, so you see we got our cleats on. That's done. You've got your reason I went with 2. You're probably asking why Steveo? Oh, you've got 2 entrances here. What's up with that? Well, these little small discs, you can get probably bigger ones, or a 7/8 bore. This is 7/8 bore hole, right? But I used a 1-inch paddle blade to bore this hole out, so you got a little bit more hole here. The reason we have 2, and by the way, while I have these in inventory, and I've got them putting them out here till I need them, I put these on vent hole, because when I grab these boxes to load them with bees in the spring, we're going to be making a lot of nukes. They're already closed, so I don't have to think about it. They're already closed, so I load these to bees and put a lid on top and shrink wrap it and put it on the truck. I don't even have to think about these because they're already closed. When I get to my next site, when I get to the breeding yard, mating yard, all I got to do is open the disc and let them fly. So that's the reason I leave these. So the other reason we're at 2, because we're probably going to end up with 2 of these boxes as a brood chamber, maybe even 3. We're also going to be making a lot of resources with these, and the beauty of these smaller boxes, you can just snatch off a box. You can equalize equipment, not even look for a queen. Don't even, you know, if you're in a hurry, don't even look for a queen. Just equalize resource, equalize bees, shut the friggin' front door, have another lid for the one you're robbing off, snatch it off, shrink wrap, put it on the truck. You're ready to transport. You're ready to transport this box to your mating yard. So you've already equalized your brood and resources very fast. With this system, we can burn out a pile of nukes. Yeah. So I'm trying to simplify the entire operation. I've done this before. I've done this in years past with just 10 frame equipment. You can do the same darn thing with these smaller nukes. Piece of cake. All right, save all of your dunnage pieces that you're making when you're cutting these sides. These are 7 inches. The height of this box is 7 inches. And it's 8 inches on the interior. Plenty of room for 5 frames. All medium equipment. We're dealing with a lot more boxes, but we're dealing with less weight. Yes, we are. Yeah, okay, I had to go run and get my tea. I was getting a little dry throat. Anyway. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just playing around. Steveo playing around. You know how I do. Constantly playing around, trying to stay out of trouble. Trying to stay out of trouble, guys. You know how I get. You know how I get. If I'm not busy, I get in trouble. So, I just thought I'd briefly show you what I'm up to. I don't know if this stuff's going to work out. It's got a foamy stuff here. This is just snap together stuff. Flooring is quite expensive. I bought that box. It's only got 6 sheets in it for 60 bucks. But we're cutting these in half to make two out of 1 sheet, because these are 48 inches. These boxes are 21 and 5/16. We'll chop, and I think I'm just going to chop them with my chop saw at 21 5/16, and leave this little bit of cantilever here on the box. I'm not going to worry about it. It'll be like a little rain runoff. But what I'm going to do is get this insulation material. Do I have a piece? Yes, here. I've got some of this. I forget the name of this stuff. But I'll be cutting some the width of the box, which would be 9 inches, and that'll go down. So you can cut it. This one here I cut for a 2-framer. It's got a feeder hole in it. And lay that down, and then lay this on top of it. So this is going to be against the bees, like that. Be a 9-inch piece cut. And all I'll do is lay this stuff on top of this stuff here, and take a razor blade and cut it out. Single edge razor blade and cut it. That way I'll have one for each hive. And then the bees will probably try to chew on this foamy stuff here, but they won't be chewing on this stuff here. So I'll lay a sheet, I'll cut up one of those for each hive. We'll slap it on, throw that on. It'll help seal too. And it will dissipate heat. These will dissipate heat. This is a light color too, as you can see, a nice light color. So the UV shouldn't get this very hot, I wouldn't think. And I'll have about a 1/4 inch cantilever on this for rain runoff and whatnot. So that's it for today. I just thought I'd pop in here and show you what I'm doing. I just knocked these out here shortly in no time at all. But the reason I put 2 on each one is I can turn them as these bees fill up. As they're weak hives, this is cool too, because you just have one entrance and you just open it up a crack here while you're getting this queen to breed. You just open this up just enough, see, make a small entry in case they want to rob and stuff. But once this thing gets up, you get these boxes up. So get that right there, that stack there, 4 units, is probably what I'm going to have as a honey making box. I'm going to have 2 chambers for brood production. The other 2, there'll be an excluder, plastic excluder like this. You can get these on Amazon. Here's one already pre-cut. Here's one already pre-cut. This is pre-cut for a different box, not this one. But anyway, I'll have an excluder on one of these, and that'll be pretty much it. And then you just monitor your honey boxes, and as they're capping out, have extras on board. That's why I'm making lots. So you can pull it, drop another one on, and just let them keep on making honey. So I'm down there on that waterfront. There's going to be crops popping one after the other. So you have to be vigilant if you're going to do what I'm doing. Keep an eye on these boxes as they start capping them off. Once you get ripe honey, don't be snatching them boxes off if they're not fully capped, because especially with cabbage palm and saw palmetto, you're going to have awful wet honey. You're going to have fermentation issues. So you got to pretty much let them ripen the honey and cap it off before you go stealing boxes and adding fresh boxes. Now what you can do, say if you don't have, say you have, you want to rob some honey, but they're not all capped, but the majority of them are. Take the capped ones out, get the bees off of them, brush them or fume them, whatever, and then drop in planes and throw it back on, and then take that honey back to the house and harvest the honey. That's how you do it. All right, get her done. I'll see you on the next one. And keep making them boxes, guys. February 30 is going to be here for you know it. See ya.